Start in 3, 2, 1. In a world that is more progressive, in a world where someone can actually garner fame from just talking in front of a camera and talk about their opinions, this means that people without a traditional political background to key government positions can bring fresh perspectives, encourage innovative policy solutions, and also better reflect the needs of the diverse society and dynamic society of today. But we have to look at a couple of things here. First of all, is that influencers, or people who are public figures, even without a background in politics, can be more grounded in relation to the people, and this is the reason is because they actually talk to the people, not talk to people, but they actually have interacted with the people in a more practical sense of the word. For example, people like Raymond Jin, Guru Gumbul, they can actually observe at the very least and talk to the people in a way that leads them in a way that actually changes their perspective, or give the normal people perspective, and also socializes politics. So, in the issue of political influence and public trust, we have to understand that public figures have a tendency to, if they get into politics, more easily garner influence and trust among the people, because they understand what the people want more easily because of their practical experience. So, this is an issue of soft power in which of the country, in which the way that a government can get attraction of people without having to impose strict policies, and the way that they can do this is using celebrities in order to socialize in issues of politics. So how about we look at the worldly context today? The world is that today we are starting to get more global, okay? And what happens now is that people can actually talk in front of a camera and actually just say their opinions. They can say what they want, and suddenly can garner attention, which means that there is a rise of non-political leaders. So what this means is that celebrities can actually garner attention, and they can create a soft power for the government, and they can become catalysts for social change. So, for example, like Greta Thunberg, who's just a normal teenager with no background in politics, but who can actually change a lot of things in society. For example, about gaining attention about climate change and so on and so forth. And so, what is required here is a more holistic approach inside of government, especially in Indonesia, of leadership in the government. And so we bring one BOP here. It's just that the public figures without credible background are reliable in today's worldly context. First, I'm going to rebuttal a couple of things about the government's side, which is that they said that celebrities can tend to have a sort of euphoria when they turn into government. But this is not something that is necessarily true, because when they turn into government, actually what happens is that they become more cautious because of their steps being watched by the news media that tends to actually dramatize and all these sort of issues with their dramatization of their actions. And so what is required is that there's more pressure on them to become more cautious and to become more careful with their actions, to actually impose stuff that is actually useful for the people, and actually listen to the people in a better sense of the word. So I think before I get into my argument, I propose two arguments. Before that, I'm going to mention a preemptive framing, which is that incompetence, and which is that if the government side or the opponent side want to give about incompetence and unreliability of these actors, of these celebrities, of these public figures, the thing is that this is not really a case exclusive towards just people without backgrounds that say that they're unreliable or incompetent. It's because people in politics to create blunders, and in fact, because they're just in politics, they have actually more safe system by the government itself, by the let's say the elites of the government to create blunders. And so the thing about it is that when celebrities create blunders that more people are actually look at their steps, there's a news media that's gonna look at them. There's gonna be people who actually pay attention towards these mistakes. But in our case, so more attention goes to those celebrities, and so they're actually more pressured to create better decisions. So I'm going to move on to my argument. The first is that celebrities actually have competency in engaging with the public than just normal career politicians. And there's three reasonings for this. And the first is that people actually idolize. People idolize celebrities. What this means is that people actually will listen to these celebrities. At the very least, they will actually want to know what it is that the celebrities want to say. And so, for this reason, that the people can actually be engaged by the celebrities themselves. The second is that celebrities are actually famous for a certain reason, for a reason that is actually usually important, because they move the people, and for a reason of competency and not just mere virality. So, for example, someone who just suddenly gets into a random meme, and this meme gets shared around, and they don't just turn into a celebrity. These are not public figures. Public figures are continuous. And what this means is that they have a certain competency in whatever field that is. Perhaps it can be in art, in education, perhaps even a competency in their knowledge of whatever it is that they specialize in. And so this moves on to my third point about this argument, which is that celebrities are made by an ongoing sense of engaging with the public rather than just a mere one-time virality process that virality thing that happens. And this is because virality does not create celebrities. What virality does, virality creates just people who are famous for some reason, and then they die out after a couple of weeks, after maybe even after a couple of months or a year. Instead, celebrities are ongoing. They actually change. They actually engage in the public because they have update onto what the people actually want. They're dynamic, and they know what it is that people want. And even if, in relation to this argument, is that if celebs turn out to be incompetent, it's not like the government doesn't have the same issue. The people have the ability to see so the people actually have the ability to see what the celebrities does. And the reason, and even more so, because as I have said previously, that news media will actually dramatize and try to look into every step of what the celebrity is doing. But if it's just a normal politician, no one really cares. And when no one really cares, then they can just make whatever mistakes that happen. It's like they can just close it off, whatever it is. And so on our side, there are actually more responsibility given towards to government from the celebrities themselves, because they actually need to make decisions that are good, that are actually impactful towards society. And however, in the opponent side, their side decreases transparency in the government because the people of this fact that celebrities are not that people who are in the government are not cautious of the people itself. And the second argument is that a political background doesn't guarantee effective governments. So first of all, the political backgrounds does not equal being a good leader. There are many career politicians who don't actually know what the people want because they don't have enough career, let's say, practical exposition towards what the people to address complex issues. But the thing is that celebrities, they have to actually deal with the people. Because in order to become a celebrity, to become famous, you need to actually be engaged with people, engaged with audience. And another thing that's important is that competence is not performance-based, but rather, competence is performance-based and not background-based. But the thing about career politicians is that they can just be is that career politicians can also be just idiotic or malicious in their actions than public figures. And the thing is that let's look at, for example, Setia Novanto. This is someone who is doing a lot of scandals, doing a lot of corruption, but the thing is that it took a while for this person to become known for this type of thing. And yeah, for that reason, proud to oppose.